Check, check, check. There I am.
Got you now.
We had lunch. I ate ham.
Yeah, would have been better if you had spam.
Oh, I haven't had spam in a long time.
That's fucking gross.
Fried spam?
Just in general, anything, meat in a can is gross. There's that guy, Jason.
What's up?
What's going on? Look at you and your racy stuff.
I know. How fancy am I now?
So damn sexy.
I used to have a shirt like that. I found it at the thrift store. Had all these different patches on it and stuff. I think it said Billy on the name tag.
Yeah?
So, well, I sent it to Patrick and, I sent it to all of us. FaceTime, so
Okay.
they can
that's what I was trying to find.
They can jump on any
And then
point.
it popped up. Cool.
So, or at least they should be able to jump on at any point. But I don't know if Mo's coming or not, but because he never said yes or no.
That's all right.
So, no big deal.
Nope. So what's everybody up to? Anything?
This.
I drank too much yesterday, and my head kind of hurts, and so I'm going to have another beer.
I like it.
Kind of had to.
You guys hear okay? There's no weird noise or anything?
No, you sound great.
I'm just in the car. So. Okay, cool.
You sound fantastic.
I dig it.
Let's see.
Yeah, well, you know me. I mean, other than the random whiskey stuff, I don't really drink. And that team that I helped out this weekend after my team was done, they're all from Belgium or something. I think that's what they are, but they all speak a shitload of French.
Oh, oui.
Yeah. And, I mean, they were, I obviously didn't talk too much to everyone because I don't know what they're saying half the time. And some of them had pretty broken English, but it was as the weekend went on, everybody kind of opened up a little more, and then they started chatting a little bit. And then, obviously we didn't make it through the whole race. They had just two crashes is just too long. It doesn't, like, at that point, you're basically just driving around spending money.
Right.
But but they were like, so we just started packing up. So me and this other dude, the only two Americans on the team, we're like, well, we'll just haul ass and try to get loaded up now, and then we don't even have to work tomorrow. And so we did. And then it was like, I mean, it had to have been 12:30 or something like that. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to a bar and get some drinks. Do you want to go? And I was like, I mean, I say I'll ride with you guys. Like, I don't really drink very much at all. And I said, well, you guys are cool. I'll come hang out. And so the guy just like started buying beers for everybody. And then they ran out of one kind, so he bought another. And then we were sitting there, and I only drank like maybe half of like one. And then he bought another one, and I only had maybe a quarter, half of that. And then all these like shot glasses start flying down the table with some shit in them. I don't know what it was. So I did one, but like that was like, all right, man. I'm like, this stuff's disgusting. Like I'm good. So, but it was cool to hang out with them. It's very different hanging out with foreign people.
Oh yeah,
Good timing.
Right as the foreign person shows up. That was perfect timing.
Missed it, Patrick. I was talking about hanging out with all my new Belgian friends now, or whatever they are. They speak French. That's all I know.
Is Belgium is that in Brussels or Germany?
Brussels is in Belgium.
And Belgium's in the UK, right?
No.
Yes, it's a little southeast corner.
It's in Africa.
I'll admit I don't know anything about geography.
Oh, the rain's down there.
Hey, mate, Jay, you should be getting on with the Belgians nicely because we got on well with the when they were next door in.
Oh yeah.
In Indy.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah. It was
at least you get provided with good coffee.
Yeah.
and a morning cigarette.
Yeah, they definitely had all that.
Miss those.
Well, that's a French thing.
Coffee, to the French in Belgium, breakfast is coffee and a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just learned that I'm part Belgian and French. I don't smoke anymore, but when I did, every morning, cup of coffee, go out to the front porch and have a cigarette.
I don't think that means that you're French or Belgian.
Maybe.
I think that just means that you're unhealthy.
Oh, that's been a forever thing.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, you can rub it
I'm just agreeing with you, man. I'm trying to
in. Be supportive.
So
supportive.
it looked like a really fun weekend this weekend.
It was pretty wild, man. It was. I mean, obviously, this is the first race with my team, so like, there was a lot of stuff we kind of had to get the kinks worked out. Porsche's having some kind of problem with the gearboxes on the new cars, so of course we happen to be one of the teams, not the only one, but one of the teams that got affected by that. So that was a pain in the neck. But overall, it was wild, man, because like it wasn't just IMSA, like WEC was there, so all those huge supercar, hypercar teams, all that stuff was there to do their own race. So like that whole paddock was it was 3 times. I mean, that's probably a low number, but like it was a massive amount larger even than like all the stuff you saw at Indy. Like,
oh yeah. Well, they had said there were 4 divisions running.
Yeah. Well, they have more than that. So for like the WeatherTech Championship, so there's 2 different ones. There's WeatherTech and then there's Michelin Pilot. So like our GS team is in Michelin Pilot. So that's basically like if you want to compare it to SRO, it's TC and GT4, and we're in the GT4 class. And then our main team is the GTD team. They do things a little bit different than SRO. Like SRO just has GT3, that's it. But they have GTD, GTD Pro, and then they have all the prototype cars. So there's 3 classes of that. So technically there's 3, 5. I mean, there's got to be 8 or 9, like different, which is crazy. And then so all of those guys are all paddocked and packed in there. And then WEC had their own like tent city. It was crazy. They have these big, huge professional, like 2-bay big tents. I took like a drive-by of like the Michelin thing. It was huge. It's like this giant thing. And it's just like whole work of art, man. These guys, you drop off all your stuff and not too soon later, like everything's already waiting outside, already done, mounted, balanced, whole 9 yards. But yeah, all the big cars and all the teams that you always see on TV, all that stuff was all there. It was pretty crazy, man.
Nice. Well, it looked like they had mentioned that the pit lane was like 3 times the length of normal because of all of the entries that they had running.
Oh, it was absurd. There were so many cars on the track, like at all times.
You look like you're in a race car right now.
Yeah. He is.
I mean, I guess if you want to, what is this?
Altima?
It's a racing
Chevy
rental.
Malibu.
That's what they use in NASCAR.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Same. You're fine. It's fine.
This is definitely not race trim, though. This is about it.
Are we not doing an official start to the show again?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you guys just keep talking racing for an hour. I'll sit here and drink and be on my phone.
Well, whatever.
I had all this stuff lined up to talk about. I was driving out here kind of giggling because I was like, this is the second time we've had Jason and Patrick on together, which I love. But in Martelle, to his defense, he didn't know I was going to make it back in time. We were out of town all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I messaged like, hey, we're home. I'll be out there shortly. And he's like, cool. Jason and Patrick going to be on. And I'm driving out here going, I'm slowly getting phased out. he was fully prepared to not have me on the show. And then about an eye is like, I've got 2 better people. And I was like, well, Jason's like the sexy race car guy, and Patrick's the smart Brit. You can't
Smart ass Brit.
I don't know
smart
about
ass
that.
Brit. And Martelle's got the sultry voice, of course.
No, we need Mo for that.
Well, Mo's
Where
like
is
the
Mo?
intelligent DJ.
I have no idea where Mo
Mo's a
is.
no-show.
Mo was supposed to be on, wasn't he?
Well, I asked him, but he never said
Either way,
like a time either way in our group
he's probably
text.
taking a siesta right now.
Probably.
You think he's Mexican?
No, I'm not Mexican, but I still take siestas.
No.
That's true.
I had tacos for breakfast. Does that make
Randy,
me
what were you doing, man?
My wife and I took the boys to a castle here in Ohio for the weekend.
He was doing dumb family stuff.
We went. My boys are 3, 3.5, if that counts, and
No,
8.
it doesn't
And
count.
I know my boys, 37 months old, 74 months old, whatever it is. I don't know, but they're 3 and 8, and we have not just had, through COVID, they were cooped up, everything shut down. We lost baseball seasons. And Beth and I decided we want to get healthier. So on the weekends, we need to be more active and get out and do things. And sometimes, we want to create memories for our kids, right? So I thought of this place. Beth and I went about 10 years ago before we had kids, and I said, "What if we went to a castle? Like the boys would flip."
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Patrick,
you can-
wherever you're going, Patrick's like, that's not a castle.
Patrick, go ahead. Well, and that's. I was glad to hear Patrick was coming on. Google, go ahead and Google this, Patrick. It's called Ravenwood Castle. Pull that up, and you'll see just how big it is. Because my dad,
Just because it's big doesn't mean it's a castle.
it's not that big. That's the funny part. It's only 2 floors. Like
There was a castle for sale in Roger, Ohio,
for a long time.
for a real
Yeah.
long time. Which
See, my dad was the son of a Air
Preacher man?
Force. Yes, after the Air Force, he was. But when Grandpa was in the Air Force as an EOD, they lived for a couple years in both England and Germany. And Dad has all these stories about touring castles. So, of course, I pumped this up to our boys like, this is a real castle. Like, we didn't tell them where we're going. It's down in it's outside MacArthur. It's like New Plymouth, Ohio, down in the Hocking Hills. No cell service, nothing.
it is a brick house
Hold
with
on,
ramparts.
Patrick's got it. Go ahead, Patrick.
I have got it. It's
Or in his chair over there.
I'm looking at the photos of it. It looks a fairly new house.
Yeah.
it's like 50 years old. Yeah, compared to England.
It's not old enough that it's actually when I actually Googled Ravenwood Castle age, it doesn't even show it. So it's not even listed as being old.
It was built in like the 1950s, dude. Like, it's not that old. Compared to real castles in Scotland, England, Germany, no, it's not old. It was built for what it is. It's a kind of a B&B kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even have castles over here, right?
No.
No, technically
Log
no.
homes and shit back in the day?
Technically, all of us treasonous, inglorious bastages burned down teepees and put up log cabins in place. So
We had
cabins,
forts made of wood.
now we do have houses that are a couple hundred years old still standing, where today's houses will not last that long.
Oh,
That's the thing about over in
that is
England,
correct.
Germany, Ireland, all those places. Like they have stuff that's hundreds and hundreds of years old, and it's
Yeah.
still in fine working order. Like it's still
This house I'm in was built in 1905.
yeah. There's some like that here, but obviously not near as much as over there.
Yeah, I grew up in a house built in 1885
Yeah,
nice.
they're building properly.
in Toronto, yeah. And then the fuckers went and knocked it down after my dad passed away. This is bullshit.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Actually, they didn't even do that. It's still an empty lot.
It's just an empty lot.
Still just an empty lot.
Yeah, but so we took them down there though. But they've got a lot of stuff for the kids. They got scavenger hunts, and then we went to. Beth found this restaurant in down. I think it was we were in the Plains where Joe Burrow's from.
No one knows where
It's
that
called.
is.
I know it's outside Athens, which nobody knows where Athens is. The real Athens, Patrick. Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, not Athens, Georgia, or Athens, Greece.
But she found this restaurant online that was in an old general store. That was, speaking of old buildings, it was built in like the mid 1800s or something. But it's now converted into like a barbecue smokehouse, and they got so many fancy beers on tap. And so we drove down there and did that. We wanted to go hiking, but the weather was terrible this weekend. So we went and found this big arcade we could run around in for a while. They have a giant checker and chess set there on the ground. So our boys wanted to play chess. And of course, Beth doesn't know how, and I'm not great at it. So we said, we'll do checkers like true Americans instead of learning chess. And then in the castle, downstairs they have the pub. And I tried butter beer. I've never watched or read Harry Potter, but I know that's a thing. And they had it.
It's unfortunately a thing.
I think, have you had it?
It's just butterscotch liquid.
No, that's not what this was.
I'll tell you one thing. It's not beer.
It's not
No,
beer.
it's not beer. It had rum and like something. It's a mixed drink. It's not. Yeah, I mean we have this beer Martelle got out, Thunder Snow Scottish Ale, with cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, vanilla beans, and natural flavor.
Ooh, look at you with the brew dog.
Straight from Ohio.
No,
Well,
that's actually
no,
from
it's,
Scotland.
No, it's not. It's from Scotland.
I know
Yes,
that. I know
they do
that.
Scotland,
They do.
Ohio.
They do have some cheap. They do have some cheap premises just outside Columbus, Ohio, where they can make and
Yeah, it's literally 10 minutes from my house.
sell it as
I
local.
was gonna say we could pause this and be there. In
Yeah, I
no
can.
time.
The brewery for Brewdog is 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Is it that close?
It's straight down Lithopolis Road to Gender and up Gender.
No, you're right. It's not 5 minutes.
Okay, 7.5.
It's probably 15.
No. It's a 7-minute
You can
drive to
make it-
Lithopolis.
You can make it in 7.5.
I mean, it's a pretty quick drive.
Yeah, we were there. We actually found a nice wine we liked there a few months back. But yeah, no. So we took them down to the castle, and we tried to find new places to do things and to eat, and we didn't get a hike, which we were bummed about. But just trying to be more active, get healthier, get the boys outside more. And where our cabin, so the castle's on top of this hill. You can get cell service. They have Wi-Fi at the castle, but our cabin was down below the hill where we stayed. All the cabin rooms or the castle rooms were booked by the time we thought of it. No internet, no cable TV, no TV at all. They had a little 13-inch flat screen with a DVD player, and we brought no DVDs. They have some there at the castle you can borrow, but it's like what people have donated, so it's not great. But we had no cell service, no internet.
It's just porn.
Yeah, that's all it was. And it was 4 and 2, so I couldn't even understand them. Their modes were in different languages. Yeah, it was just take time with the family and get outside some and try something new. So we're trying to once a month at least do a family. So even if it's a day trip somewhere, just get out, go hike, maybe go up, stay a night, and enjoy the lake sometime this summer. Or the pond, as Patrick.
Doing all that's overrated, and your kids will never remember it.
Okay. You're the one that's telling me to move more. I'm trying to move more. This is mutually beneficial.
I'm fine with that. I was just saying that it's
no.
Your kids will never remember.
You'd be surprised. Judd is 3. We were in Tennessee first week of December. He's still talking about it, like vivid detail. He remembers things we've done.
That's because
Huck
he's
remembers-
only 3, and that's his entire life.
That's his only trip he's ever been on. Huck remembers stuff from 4 and 5 years ago. No problem. My memory sucks. I can't remember what we did.
Yeah, mine's not great either.
So, but drinking this Madtree beer will definitely help my memory. It's pretty good. So where's this place at?
Cincinnati.
Oh, nice. Here, I guess I could hold it up so you guys could see if I can.
Madtree
Thunder Snow.
Yeah, it's
Scottish Ale.
It's pretty good. I like a Scottish ale. They're pretty good.
It says it's inspiring madness rooted in purpose. Okay, and it's a limited release. Yeah, that's pretty good. What are you doing?
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to fix the shit now.
You're not very good with tech, are you?
No, I'm putting something up on the TV screen that Randy can see. I sent I sent a link in the chat that we had to Whispering Pines Castle, which is the castle that it was for sale in Rogers, Ohio. It's so old. It was built in 1930, but it actually looks more like a castle than Ravenswood Castle.
Yeah, Ravenwood is 4 towers. I'm doing air quotes for the listeners. I will say, though, the place was clean. The staff was phenomenal. It was a good stay. It's haunted. There's ghosts. We saw Sasquatch out there.
Yeah, we should go squatching and record that.
We should.
What it'll be is I'm going to record the show while you go run through the woods.
Take my shirt off and just say, Rawr. But there are the Piat castles in Ohio. Those are more castle-y and older. There's one down by Loveland, in Loveland, Ohio, outside of Cincinnati, too. I forget what that's called, but it's supposed to... This guy in Loveland, Ohio... Now I see it. So this one you're showing me is which one?
So
that's the one for sale, okay.
This was the one that was for sale. Apparently it's now an event center.
Yeah, that looks real old with the conduit running up the outside to a light fixture.
You like that? Well, they had
That's not even well-run conduit.
That's called adaptation.
That's called horrible work.
Well, it is what it is.
Poor craftsmanship.
It is what it is.
Poor craftsmanship. That doesn't look any bigger than...
I didn't say bigger. I said better.
I don't know that it is.
It looks older.
It looks older because it's got stained walls.
Yeah. Well, that's all it needs. That right, Patrick? All a castle needs is stained walls.
No, that's
stained with blood.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll let you
See?
Of course, the Brits like, yeah, we invade people. We've killed a lot.
Well, we've owned most of the world, so
yeah, but they lost it.
We chose to give it back because we only kept the good bit.
That
A lot
was
of
mighty kind of you.
We only kept the good bit.
Yeah, where it's always gray and rainy.
Yeah. Well, no, we got a little bit in the middle of the Atlantic as well.
The Virgin Islands.
The U.S. Virgin Islands.
That's in the Caribbean, but we'll lay you off.
Well, that's where I'm planning on moving to, with or without Liz. I'm out.
Bermuda's still British.
Is it?
South Atlantic. Yep. Yeah.
No wonder everybody that goes to visit there disappears. I want to go. I want to go visit Europe though, for real. I would love to go over there because like I said before, I'm a history buff.
Except he knows no history.
I actually know more history probably than anything, which isn't saying a lot. That means I know 3 history. But
I know nothing.
Look up the Loveland Castle.
Why do I want to do that?
Because I want to see it so I can remember. So the story goes, this guy decided he wanted to have a castle, and he lived down outside Cincinnati. He started building this by hand. He did every single piece and part of it. He built the doors.
It's historic.
He built the...
It's a castle and museum.
Yeah.
See, that looks like it should be a castle, but it's, construction began in the 1920s, so it's just a house.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I won't argue that, but it's a cool house for a guy, like one guy just decided, I'm going to build this.
Chateau Le Poche.
You are very
La
French.
Roche.
Your French is showing right now.
Chateau La Roche.
Is that what it is? I can barely see it. My eyes are bad.
Martel's like, Chatter La Roche.
Yeah. There is a Chateau Martelle. I want to find it.
Chateau
It's in
La Roche.
La Roche.
Canada.
La Roche.
There's apparently a Martell Castle somewhere in Canada, too, that I have rights to, but no one wants to claim the rights because they don't want to pay the back taxes on that shit.
It's probably not much.
That's been well, no, if it's Canadian dollars, it definitely is. It's pocket change. Here, I got a quarter and I can pay the taxes for
the castle.
For the castle.
For the house shaped like a castle. No, because I've always remembered Dad's story growing up of going to those real castles. I always thought it'd be really cool to go over there. I want to go to Scotland.
Yeah.
I think it'd be beautiful to visit. There's actually a house for sale. Beth and I send each other these houses that are multi-million-dollar homes all over the world. You see them on Facebook or something. It's like, hey, you ready to move? Well, there's one in Scotland that was like,
Patrick's not that far away. He can go check it out for you.
Yeah, just drive up 15 minutes to get there.
Hop on the train.
Yeah, and but it was like, I forget how big it was. A decent sized house, and all this land, and it had like a bed and breakfast on it, separate from the house, and it was like $150,000 because they wanted you to be able to run the business too. So you pay for the house, but then they paid you. I forget the whole arrangement, but I was seriously like, that might be worth looking into. That could be fun.
You should look into that.
Well, that was like 1.5 years ago. It's probably gone.
You should still look into it.
Well, I'd have to get a passport. I don't even have a passport.
Yeah, most Americans don't.
That's because we have so much to see here.
Yeah,
Look
Grand
how big
Canyon
our country is,
and
we got all these castles to go look at.
I don't have one. I thought I was going to need one this year for the season, but I highly doubt we're going to go race in Canada this year either. We didn't do it last year.
Canada sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a Canada.
That's just one of my favorite lines from Family Guy. They're all making fun of different nationalities, and like Meg's like, yeah, not like those gargantuan Swedes, and then the more you know star kind of like fake one flies over her head. She's like, actually, the Swedes are a blah 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 and very prosperous people. And it goes through all the family members making fun of different nationalities, and he goes, and Peter goes, yeah, not like those freeloading Canadians. And it turns dark behind him, and he just stares at the camera and he goes, what? Canada sucks. That's the end of the episode.
Oh my God.
No, I'd like to go. I'd like to go visit Canada and talk about how many guns I have.
It was nice to go to Canada when you didn't need a passport.
Yeah.
Now I can't go to St. Lucia without a passport now.
Really?
Yeah, you can't leave the U.S. and come back without a passport.
Weird. I'm not leaving the U.S. I'm just driving through Canada to get to Alaska.
Still, yeah, and you still have to have a passport for that shit too. You might as well just get in a boat and row your ass around.
Around Canada. Yeah.
That's easier than getting a passport.
Yeah. So was the number 22 car running this weekend? Did it run? Because
We ran. Yeah. I don't know how. I've never seen any of the IMSA broadcasting. Like they have their IMSA.tv thing, but I think they pushed most of their stuff to like Peacock. And obviously you saw like they obviously pay a massive amount of attention to all the super high end cars.
Yeah,
like,
it was all LP3 or the LMP3s and the P2 stuff, and it was hardly anything on GTD or Pro. So
Yeah.
they never showed, like, I never saw the hard point, the 99 car once. And I watched for a total of 4 hours. And in that 4 hours of watching, I never once saw the 99 car and never saw the 22 car.
Yeah, well, the 22 car wasn't last night.
Okay.
So they have, it's kind of divided into, this thing's a totally different animal than like last year. So like with SRO, GT3 and GT4 are racing together. So they were always the pack that was, kind of in the back that you end up catching up to.
Right.
TC was its own animal. The way they do it, because they have so many other things, GT4 is the faster class in the Michelin Pilot Challenge and TC. So it's GT4 and TC. So that's what our car runs in the 22. So we raced on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think all of our races are just like a standard 2-hour race, except for we have one coming up somewhere that's a 4-hour endurance race. GTD does all the big races, so they did the Daytona 24, which if we would have been able to get everything ready in time, there was just so much going on with trying to get, we barely got the car in time for the second race. Like it's, everybody knows how crazy it's been. But that would have been like an 8-hour race because this is called the Grand Sport class, so it's GS. So we would have had an 8-hour race for that, but GTD runs the 24-hour Daytona. Then this was the next race they had, which is 12. A lot of the races are like almost 3 hours or like 2 hours and 40 minutes because I think they have 3 drivers instead of 2.
Okay.
But most of them, I think because I was looking through their schedule again, like they're going to Long Beach, but we don't go to that. We're next races at Laguna Seca. So we have like one long race, 2 if you count Daytona, and then most of them are just a standard like 2 hours. But GT has pretty much all the long stuff. But that's just because they smash all those classes. So there's 3 different classes of prototypes. There's DPI, which is the really big one. That's the Meyer Shank team and those other guys. And then the Cadillac team won, which is weird to think that Cadillac's in racing, but they did really well.
But they're in but they're doing that prototype racing, right? So.
Yeah, well, that's prototype has 3 categories. So there's DPI, which is Daytona Prototype International, which is like the big dogs. Like Jimmy Johnson's racing for that Ally car and stuff like that.
Okay.
Meyer Shank has like Helio Castroneves and those big guys from like IndyCar. And then LMP, the Le Mans prototypes, they have 2, which is a step just under DPI. And then the 3 is the one that was the car that I was supporting this weekend after our team was done and packed up. So they have those 3 classes already. And then you have GTD and GTD Pro on top of that. So you have 5 different classes all running at the same time.
Jesus.
You know what? I definitely knew some of those words.
Well, I saw that, was it?
The DPI cars and they look very similar to the LMP.
Yeah.
They almost all look identical. I think there's some very small things based on manufacturer because some of them is Oreca. Other ones are, there's like, I never heard of it before, but Duquesne, whatever, they have their own version. Cadillac is its own version. Acura, I think, is its own.
Well, I noticed that the Acura had like the Acura had a double front spoiler versus like the Cadillac that had like some spoiler and a half on the front
have
and
a similar splitter. But then some of the cars run single dive planes, which is the little wings on the side, or they run 2. And a lot of that, I don't really understand a lot of it. Those cars are crazy. They're basically just like a chassis with some stuff bolted onto them.
It's basically a rocket
ship.
Well,
they're single seat race cars with a roof on them.
Yeah.
So
they're like F2, F3 with a full body.
Yeah.
I've not been in the world of racing the way that you guys are. I grew up, Dad, telling the stories of old muscle cars, and we always help people build.
That's what I'm
street
from,
racing.
dude.
Yeah, street racing muscle cars. Yeah. That's a different level, though. And between our last talk with you guys, especially Patrick, and when we talked about our top 5 cars, and Patrick said were any of his not American. Between then and now, though, I'd recorded it and forgot. I saw Ford versus Ferrari for the first time.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
I knew of the story, but it was just fascinating to me.
Which one? Because there's an actual documentary out there.
Not the documentary.
And then there's the Brad Pitt movie.
Brad Pitt, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt movie.
I watched that movie. Now, I've seen and read and studied a lot about it because I've always liked the story of the GT40, how Ford goes, we're going to do something no American's ever done. And I just that kind of, it's kind of like Harley and the Davidsons. That's also a movie, but there's a lot of fact based on it, how Harley was going to set out to be one of the best. They're going to compete. I like the story of it. Patrick, my question is, well, first off, I was trying to look for an old message. Jason, you mentioned me in your story on Instagram on March 9th. I just saw that. Thank you. I don't know what it was. It's gone. I don't Instagram a lot. But so the Ford versus Ferrari, how do you think that?
Well, there's a better documentary out there than that movie.
I know of it. I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it.
It's produced by Adam Carolla.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
I'll check that out.
I'm trying to figure out how I want to word it because I always like getting Patrick on for the different perspective. I've only been in America. I've not traveled the country.
That's all that matters.
Let alone the world. I didn't cross the Mississippi River. I did not cross the Mississippi River until I was on Fat Guys in the Woods. Or no, I went to Branson, Missouri when we were I was 17 or 18. We all went to Branson, extended family, 3 generations. But other than that, I've never even been west of the Mississippi until I went to Arizona. But so the Ford GT40 in that story beating the Ferrari was when everybody, obviously, and for good reason, thought there's no way Ford can do this. How is that perceived over there? Is there a appreciation for what Ford did then?
Yeah, there'd be an appreciation for what Ford did, but I mean, as a British guy, I find it quite funny because the Italians would have lost their shit.
There
would have been a lot of that.
Well, that's that's the same shit when Lamborghini walks into Ferry Ferrari's office and bitches about how the car's made, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'll just go build my own car."
Yeah.
And
it's that entrepreneurship. I like that story too. That's cool to me because in my mind, what Ford did, especially not only building a car that can compete, but going 1, 2, and 3, elevates everybody, right? Because now it goes, okay, we've got to step up our game. So it's good for motorsports as a whole.
You just described this podcast in a sentence.
That we make everybody else step up their game because we're so freaking good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look,
we're so good that no one wants to listen to us because they're afraid to step up.
We've helped so many other podcasts up their game that everybody listens to them now instead of us.
Right.
People are like, wait, there's better podcasts out there? Thanks for the heads up. That actually happened to me. I was listening to a true crime podcast, and they did a joint thing. It was a 3-part series. Part 1 was on both podcasts. And they're like, if you want to hear part 2 and 3, go to this podcast. So I did to finish that series, and then I just kept listening to that podcast. I haven't gone back to the original one. I was like, that's the dumbest thing y'all could have done. I haven't listened to them in 7 months because they did that.
That's on them.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, that's bad marketing.
I will never do that with the Bourbon Hunters.
No, screw them.
Ever again.
Screw the Bourbon Hunters. I actually just looked at their Instagram. I was like, oh, they've stopped tagging me in posts. They didn't. I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
It would have been fine.
Dude's still tagging everybody. He's just adding on to everybody he's tagging in all of his whiskey posts. I should probably start posting.
Yeah, you really
Instagram.
should. You're bad about that.
I don't post shit on our Instagram page.
I don't even have the password to our Instagram page.
I had to change it because I got hacked.
Oh, that explains it. I just thought it was a cool story though. Seeing that it was a Hollywood version of the Ford versus Ferrari story.
There was one. So I still occasionally listen to Carolla, and he was talking about when he was in the process of making that documentary for Ford versus Ferrari, and he announced it on his show. He's like, "Oh, I'm in the process of doing this documentary. We're talking to, Enzo Ferrari's grandchildren, and we're talking to these people, Henry Ford's kids.
Brad Pitt.
We're doing this, we're doing that, and we've got all this stuff." And then all of a sudden, this Hollywood version shows up as he's in the middle of doing this documentary with the family of Ferrari, with the family of Ford, with the Le Mans people, with all this other shit. And he's just like, are you guys fucking kidding me right now?
Well, and
Like-
what I didn't know,
And they produced their movie before he got his documentary out. Like, and he was just like, this is bullshit. He's like, I don't give a. He's like, I'm still going to do the
yeah,
documentary.
you still got to do it.
And I'm still going to get the actual story out there. And
I appreciate that. I appreciate a good story based on facts.
Yeah.
And
They made a good
I
movie,
do like
but
a good
always
documentary.
Theatric license in there, I think.
What's that?
I said it's cool to have a good movie, and it was. Like, I could watch it all the time, but there's always some theatrical license in there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that happens
Yeah.
with every movie. Like the movie that is the most different from what it was based on.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know anything
Like,
about
that was complete and total fact. And they just blew that into like a fictional movie about space travel.
Talking raccoons. No,
He's not a raccoon.
10th grade, we had to do a book report. The teacher passed around like this list of like 30, 40 books to a class of 20 some kids, right? You check one off, next person goes, you check, you put your initials by it. And it got to me, I'm like halfway through the class, nothing's going to be left, right? And I see Forrest Gump. And I'm like, I've seen that movie 50 times at least by this point. I sign up for Forrest Gump. The list gets back up to the teacher. He's looking over. He knows me. He's like, this kid's a slacker. Yeah, I am. I take tests really well. I never do homework. And I pass.
You're still a slacker.
And absolutely. I do what I have to do to get by
Right.
with a little help from my friends. But he looks at it. He goes, Forrest Gump. I said, yep. I kind of smiled. He goes, you ever read the book? I went, nope. He went, good luck. And he gave me this look, and I was like, uh-oh. Dude, I read the book Forrest Gump. It is nowhere near the movie. In that book,
It
he's
usually
on
is
set
not.
with Raquel Welch. He's dressed up in a gorilla suit for one of her movies. He plays a gorilla. Like, he goes to space. Like, it's like off the wall different from the movie.
Yeah.
I actually like the book less after seeing the movie first, which is weird. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Most people say the book's way better than the movie. The book was entertaining, but after seeing the movie, because the movie made it... Forrest Gump was that first movie, in my mind, where it related him to so many historical events, right?
Yeah. Well, they tried to.
So...
I got shut in the buttocks.
It's just... But, yeah, so back to the Ford versus Ferrari and the licensing thing, I just thought it was a really cool story. When the 3-part series Harley and the Davidsons came out, never wanted a Harley. Never in my life.
Is that the same as Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man?
No. Different one.
That was a pretty good documentary. That came out of Hollywood.
This one was just the story, how they got started, what all they went through, how they almost shut down, how they pulled through. It was a really cool story, and by the end I went, yeah, I need a motorcycle. Like, I've ridden motorcycles and dirt bikes a few times in my life, never the desire to own one, and I got done with that series, I was like, I need a motor. Interestingly enough, it made me want an Indian Scout more than a Harley.
But sweet.
Yeah, they're sweet, but they're like...
I've had a couple Harleys, but I like, and I love them.
Well, the problem with the Indian, like, you can buy a good Honda, 1,300,
You get yourself
Honda
a Goldwing
for
or a Valkyrie.
$3-4 grand. You do that in a Harley, you're spending 15-20. You do that at Indian.
Oh, I spent a lot more than that now.
Well, I'm talking old used one. I'm talking like 20 years old used.
Yeah.
I can buy a 90s 2000s Honda Shadow, 13C or 1100 cc, whatever, few grand. Harley, you're spending 10, 15, 20. Indian, you're spending like 50 to 70. Like, they are stupid priced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't looked in a few years, but it's just like ridiculous.
Well, they're making a comeback now too.
And then I found Suzuki makes an Indian knockoff that is, they literally took everything off the Indian Scout and just shrunk it like 2 inches, so it's not the same. So I was like, oh, Suzuki, it is.
They did the 15% copyright change.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, Patrick, how big are bikes over there? I mean, do you guys have a lot of motorcycles over there?
They're the same size that they are in America.
Well played. Well played. No, they're not big,
yeah,
you idiot.
Did the same thing that Randy would do to somebody.
Exactly. That's why I laughed. I almost said Patrick's
Yeah,
just
no.
a better British version of me. Wait,
Yeah.
They're they're pretty popular, But it's just I'm not a bike man.
That's the thing. I've ridden them, and every time I ride one, I like it. But the thought of me getting one, my biggest thing is, I will ride within my abilities. I don't trust other people's abilities. I don't trust.
Oh, like some
Dude,
of my
you
buddies have
just need
got.
to get a big touring bike that's comfortable because some of those bikes are just miserable.
Oh yeah.
Some of my buddies ride super bikes. They've got like the 1000 cc
Yeah.
like legit road bikes. They can do. One of the guys is like, yeah, I'd sit on 140 down the motorway. Like, yeah, but then like he says, yeah, you're not looking ahead of you. You're just hoping.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Pretty much.
Plus, when I was a little bit younger, I was 6'5", so trying to curl me up like I look like a pretzel.
So what are you now? 6'4"?
Yeah, shrinking.
Yeah.
My spine's compressed a bit through rugby and lifting weights.
I got the same problem. I used to be 6'2", now 5'11" and a half.
I've definitely experienced shrinkage over the years. It happens. I mean, it just.
So how big are the Renault Robins over there?
Renault.
Yeah. The
Renault Robin.
Yeah, the Robin. Do you have one of those?
No.
You want one?
What is that? I'm gonna have to Google it.
Isn't that a French thing?
Yeah.
It is a French thing. But yeah, it'll be called something else in the UK and Europe.
There you go, Randy.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, that Clarkson flipped.
Yeah.
There's one.
You need to get one that's on airbags.
It's bagged.
That's a Reliant Robin, not a Renault Robin. That's a Reliant.
That three-wheeler thing.
Yeah, the three-wheeler, the plastic pig.
Yeah. So I found a pink one that's airbagged.
The good news about that is if you drive it that low, you won't flip as easily.
No, it looks like it's kind of body dropped as well.
Yeah. There's actually a James Bond version of it. It's called the Bond Bug. They are awesome.
Okay, look at the Bond Bug because now I'm intrigued.
All right, Bond Bug.
See, in America, we all grew up riding three-wheelers, so we know those things will flip.
Yeah.
If you try to turn while moving at all, you will roll a three-wheeler.
I have flipped several three-wheelers in
man.
The Bond Bug. Do you own a Bond Bug? Have you ever seen a Bond Bug?
It says the best 3x3 by far. Like, who are you competing with?
Is it three-wheel drive?
Yeah. No, it's
probably just rear wheel.
It's rear wheel drive, but yeah, it was legitimately they used them in a Bond movie. I can't remember which one.
Oh, that's funny.
I've actually seen this thing on Top Gear.
I like how that
British Top Gear, old.
I like how the hatch opens up because then I'd be able to actually get in it. I wouldn't fit in it, but I'd be able to get in it.
Yeah, I've seen these on the old Top Gear UK. They had one on there.
I want one of those Isettas like Steve Urkel drove. BMW Isetta.
Like you was you got me thinking because I wanted to know when Le Mans was actually happening, and it's like in June. I was thinking, I've got some time off, so I've been looking at tickets, and like you get a general hospitality ticket with a catering and a free bar, $500 for the weekend.
That's cheap.
That seems not bad.
Yeah, I'm
that gives you GA admission, terrace with a track view, parking, and catering and open bar. And I was like, I reckon I can drink a couple of €100 in a weekend.
Oh yeah,
challenge accepted.
Absolutely. Oh, so here we go.
I was like, have some of that.
I just found a Volkswagen-powered 1957 BMW Isetta 300.
What you just found is a Fast P.
That looks literally... You guys can't see this, and I can try to send the link, maybe. But it's literally it's green. It looks like a P, and it has a Volkswagen... I think it's a turbo motor.
I was saying, it looks
air-cooled turbo motor on it. This thing could do wheelies all day.
Oh no! Yeah, like that was BMW's rip-off of the Messerschmitt bull car.
Oh, okay.
The Messerschmitt.
We can't spell Messerschmitt over here.
We can barely spell over here.
We can't even say Worcestershire sauce.
Worcester.
Worcestershire.
You know what? Just pass the ketchup.
Worcestershire. Shiza sauce.
Give me the horsey sauce from Arby's. I'm good. Americans can say horsey. We're good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we suck. We're treasonal and colonial.
That's right.
But we're free. We are as free as our government allows us to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't
We are
forget
free
it.
to pay taxes on taxes on taxes, which is ironic if you think about what happened, so many hundreds of years ago. The government went, no taxation without representation? Okay, we'll be here.
Just
Yeah.
wait around for it.
Thanks for voting on me. I just gave myself a raise. Oh,
You get
man.
it.
Let's see here.
So I've been listening to a few podcasts, and there's conspiracy theories going on, Patrick, I don't know if you're aware of, that the Queen has actually passed. And they're just not making it public.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, someone did say that the other day.
Wasn't she just on TV the other day?
Was she?
Yeah, but you never know when.
Yeah, when was that recorded?
I don't know. Is it like a Michael Jackson hologram?
I don't know. You think the Queen and Michael Jackson and Tupac are all hanging out
Probably.
in Bermuda?
And with Biggie.
Yeah, I heard that actually. It was on the way out here. I was listening to a different podcast since I don't listen to ours because it's terrible. And they were talking about that. And I was like, huh. And this was after I found out you were going to be on. So I wanted to remember to ask you if that was a thing over there, if people were talking about it.
Yeah, no, they are. It's been reported by multiple media sources that is a hope.
I figured it was. I mean, anything like that I can't find real info on.
She did about a month ago. She did have COVID. She has moved from Buckingham Palace to Windsor, and I don't think she'll be returning to Buckingham Palace. She wants to stay in Windsor because it's just a nicer place to live than central London.
Well, yeah. Live in the country.
She's well, it's not exactly in the country, I'll say that.
Well, it's better than living under a gigantic clock that dings every hour.
She probably lives next to one that dings every hour. Most.
So we have we all fly our flags on every house. You guys just have giant clocks that are loud every hour.
Well, no, every church steeple, like the older churches, they all have a clock, and there will be a bell that chimes every hour.
That used to happen here in my hometown.
Then you probably shot it.
Well,
pretty close.
No, we just shot the guy ringing the bell. There's a literal guy up there ringing every hour. Yeah, I think there's like one now in our whole town. There used to be like 7 or 8. And my town's not big it's probably giant by British standards, but I know it's huge by Japanese standards.
What town are you in?
I'm in a town called Circleville. You can look up Circleville, Ohio. I think the population's, I know it was 13,000 when we moved there years ago. I moved out, moved back.
Yeah.
You're going to see.
Yeah, it's not a big town. It's not a small town. It's just a town.
It's an average town. Here,
it's a bigger town than New Plymouth, Ohio, which I looked at and I was like, I think there's probably 5 houses there.
and they're not in good shape. New Plymouth, Ohio is not fantastic. So, 14,248 is our population as of this year. Martelle's now looking up Toronto, Ohio, where he's from. I was actually born in Columbus, Ohio. I lived the vast majority of my childhood there. Moved to Circleville in middle school.
Toronto, Ohio, 4,821 people.
I can't believe that many are still there.
I can't believe that many people are still there either.
There's nothing up there anymore.
We had 13 churches, 22 bars, and 15 pizza shops in a 3-mile area. It was ridiculous.
That's why there's only 4,000 people there. There's nowhere for houses.
Well, the town that I live in and was born in, Rothwell, just outside Kettering, Northamptonshire. We have this day every year where they read the town charter gets read. It's called the Town of Proclamation. It gets read every year, and the pubs are allowed to open at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Jeez,
it's a great day as well. If it falls on a bank holiday, so you don't have to take the day off, it's even better.
So,
I mean, we'll start drinking at 6 a.m.
Right.
for St. Patrick's Day, which just happened.
Yeah,
And none of us are Irish.
Yeah.
So,
but what they happen is the town charter is read outside every current public pub and every listed building that was a public house. So it gets read out. There's like.
So they walk around
12,
building to building and read it?
They yell, "Hear ye, hear ye."
On horseback.
Nice.
The town crier goes around on a horse, and he has his people escorting him. And then there's massive fights outside every pub. It's brilliant.
Oh, I want to go.
I was going to say, that just made it sound cool.
I want to go.
It sounded
now.
really dumb until you said that.
So I got something. I got something quite humorous here. So I'm looking at the population for my hometown of Toronto, Ohio, and the numbers don't add up. So it says the population is 4,821, but there's 5,083 white people there, 119 black or African American, 2 or more other races, 2 Asians, and 2 American Indians or Alaskan natives.
Yes,
hold on,
an Alaskan
no.
native.
I know the 2 Asian people.
Of course you do. It's because they say, I was about to say something.
It's my buddy Atlee and his son. It's the only 2 Asian people left in Toronto.
Well, yeah, it's because if you go to Toronto, Ohio, they stand out like a yellow thumb.
Wow.
That's
It's been a while
Yeah,
since we've had a
that's
playfully racist joke. It's okay. I have an Asian friend.
I'm gonna have to break out the bleeps again. So last episode, Patrick he just politely sent me a text and said, "Hey, can you just remove any of the references to my career?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. I can do that." I get a message from Mo like the next day that he damn near choked on his pretzels because it just went to bleep, 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 bleep.
Sounded like he was cussing up a storm.
And I said, I'm just going to start randomly adding in bleeps
Just here and there.
just over things so that no one knows what the hell's going on.
When you go on one of your cussing rants, you should bleep out every not cuss word. That'd be fantastic.
Bleep, fucker.
Yeah, no, it's basically the one in Rothwell. The whole of the town goes out onto the streets. Everyone is drinking at 6 o'clock in the morning. So by 8 o'clock, if you're not one of the people drinking, you've got to try and drive to work. And you're literally driving through what looks like a battleground because there's bodies everywhere.
I need to come to this.
I was gonna say that.
But it's one of these days. You go out. Your alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. You're out the house by 5:30, and you're walking down. Like everyone will walk and congregate down on the main streets downtown. So you leave your house with a can. So you're cracking a beer at 5:30 in the morning. Walk down the hill, meet your mates in a big group. Drink until about 8 o'clock, and if you're okay, then just some random house. Somebody will go, "I'm doing a fry up," and like there'll be 50 people just rock up at this dude's house.
That sounds like an OSU football game down on campus.
It kind of does.
It's such good fun. It's one of the days I haven't been to it for years because I'm living away, but now I'm back. I'm so tempted to take that day off.
When's this happening?
It will be. It's always at the end or the beginning of May.
Ooh, I don't know if I can get over there by then.
It's the first Monday of Rothwell Fair. We're one of the few towns in the country that still has a street fair, like amusement park rides in the middle of the street. They close off the town, basically.
Hell yeah.
That's the pumpkin show.
Yeah, that's the pumpkin show.
Yeah, Circleville. Look at the Circleville pumpkin show. You'll be blown away.
They close off blocks, not just
our whole
street.
town shuts down for a week.
Oh no, we have the main street going through the town, and we have this huge market square, which is essentially the town's car park for everyone going to work, and they just go, "Nah, screw you, you're not doing that for the next 10 days." And shut down.
Hope you got vacation time because you ain't parking down here.
Well, like every Monday, they legitimately have the town market every Monday, and it's like, "No, that ain't happening." So there's all these.
That's how pumpkin
it's
show
so
is.
funny.
For me to get to my house to park, I have to get a pass from the police station because the roads are blocked.
Oh no, we don't bother with that. We like going to work. I have to legit drive through the town, and there's like literally it's down to like a very narrow single lane, so you can get a standard car through there. You guys with trucks would be fucked.
We wouldn't.
My Lincoln would. Yeah. Oh, we'll make it.
We'll get through it.
Ground clearance is key, my friend.
Dude, I've seen what happens when a Ford F-150 collides with something, or a Hummer collides with something. Your cars fold like a biscuit.
That's why I drive Toyotas.
Biscuits are good. My Lincoln ain't folding like no biscuit.
No, your Lincoln.
My Lincoln can fold in half and still be 10 feet long.
Your Lincoln isn't getting through the town when the streets are. Your Lincoln ain't getting through the town when the streets are open.
I was gonna say, I'd hate to try and turn around in that thing over there.
You couldn't turn around in my driveway in the damn thing.
That's true.
That was like a 20-point turnaround.
Yeah, it was hard to leave Martelle's house.
Did you have to turn around because you can't reverse?
No, I reversed several times. Believe me.
No,
you mean to reverse? No, I can reverse. Actually, I drive really well backwards. I've driven a lot in my life.
But the turning radius on that car is shit, and he like pulled into the wrong spot initially.
Martelle's got a long driveway too, because here in America we all have to have our own land, because freedom rings, and we don't like being near each other.
I really like paying the government money, so I got as much land as I could possibly get.
Yes, I can back all the way down his driveway. It's the driveway. Actually, when I learned to drive, my parents' drive is just a bit longer than his, and
you still couldn't have backed down the driveway because you pulled in facing the garage, so you still had to back up 18 times just to get turned around.
I could have backed that way. Potato, tomato. Yes, I can drive backwards. That's not an issue. I'm like Mater on cars. I'll race backwards.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Just checking. Don't worry.
It's a cartoon.
No, but there is a guy, a YouTube guy, found he doesn't have many followers, but he's got a Lincoln, and he's somewhere in Germany. I forget the name of the town, but it's like it's a village, and when he drives that thing, it's hilarious because he's just like, love this car. Let's see where I get stuck today. Like, he just knows he's going to have trouble. He's like, the car drives great. It always starts. It runs well. It's comfortable. Can't turn. Like, just a standard turning down an alley. He's like, nope, not going that way.
I don't know that I'd want to drive a car that big. I mean,
it's a. When I first went to look at it, I was like, I don't even like this car. When I drove it, I went, I want this car. I don't know why. It's weird. It's way more fun to drive. It's not fast. But it's like driving the most comfortable sofa down the road, and then everybody looks at it and goes, that's beautiful, and I want one. Or my grandpa had one. Or, my dad saved his whole life for a Lincoln, It's just, it's weird.
I honestly don't look at that thing and go, it's beautiful, I want one. I say, Jesus Christ, that fucking thing is massive. What do you get in gas mileage?
Don't care. I've never checked.
Well, I know. Most people don't.
I don't pay for gas in my daily, so I've not looked at gas prices in 3 years. If I need gas, I pull into whatever gas stations I see next.
Yeah, but that's a privilege that you have that most people don't.
Absolutely. Now, if I had to drive that car daily, I'd be getting like a 95 Civic real quick. Something I can pay $500 for, put in 87 octane, 85 octane if I can find it, and not care if it blows up.
That's why I bought that S5. That S5 got 30 miles to the gallon.
You weren't putting in no 85 octane in that.
You're right, I was not, but I still got 30 miles to the gallon. I was happy.
Yeah, it was a fun car.
And it was fast.
Yeah, I got 68.
Yeah, we know.
Well, yeah, it's a cute moped.
I'd like to.
What do you drive over there?
Vespa.
What do I drive?
Yeah.
BMW 220 Sport.
Oh, just a BMW.
Diesel.
BMW.
Diesel. Get an M5. M3.
Why?
I used to want an M3 growing up.
To be honest, mate, there's a guy who lives on the bottom of my hill. He's got an M2, and it is beautiful. Yeah. It's just a beautiful car. But to be honest, if I buy I'm going to hold on to this one because if I get a permanent contract at my current employers, I am eligible to get on the company car scheme.
See, that's what I got. I got a company car. Well,
yeah, so,
hold on. I'm American, so I have a company truck.
Yeah. No, I'll be getting a C250 coupe.
Okay. Do they pay for the gas, the maintenance, and all that? No,
it's an ownership thing. We get discounted. We get them a discount price rather than a full company car, but it's your access to it. So we get them. We still pay rental on the car, but it's ridiculous cheap.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Canadian dollars instead of pounds.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I was trying to price one up the other day. Get a C250 AMG, which is the C43 engine, and it's just an absolute monster. And it's like you can the standard rental charge if you're renting that is like £500-600 a month. I'm like, I am not paying that. And if you get it through the company car scheme, it's like £150 a month.
Nice. That's nice.
Now I'm paying that.
Yeah, that's a good discount for that car.
I'm about to look up and see if I can find one of these, a 2 Series Grand Coupe or Coupe, as you said, in a diesel. 51.4 to 61.4 miles per gallon on a diesel motor.
Why do we as Americans pronounce toupee as toupee, but coupe as coupe?
I don't know.
We're dumb.
Because we don't put the little accent mark over the E typically.
Like when we drive our Porsches.
Yeah, but doesn't toupee have 2
Porsche.
E's in it?
It does. I was hoping you want to bring that up. See, this is why we can't have smart people on here.
Oh, man.
You and your stupid rental car. Shut up. Yeah, coupe and sedan. Exactly.
I can call it coupe. I'll call it coupe. I don't whatever it is, but it's Porsche.
Porsche.
It's Porsche.
Oh, 2-door.
And but looking at the mileage on this for a diesel, although the diesel right now is like $7 a gallon.
It's up there.
Yeah, because you're only using half the amount you would on petrol anyway, so you still win it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
You got the idiots at the helm right now.
Can I roll coal with a diesel BMW diesel BMW?
Oh yeah.
You know what rolling coal is, Patrick?
No.
Okay, go to YouTube. Hold on.
Power break that bad boy.
Jason's like, I know what that. Jason and me are on the same page. Like,
Yeah.
That's what we grew up in. Go on YouTube, Patrick, and put rolling coal. And find a big diesel truck video. I don't have YouTube, so I don't know what you're about to find, but I guarantee you, one of my favorite ones is rolling coal or roll coal. It'll probably be a Dodge Cummins. 9 times out.
Cummins better than blowing.
9 times out of 9.1 times, it's a Cummins.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah.
It's absurd. This is what I live in right now. Is just a bunch of assholes.
People in Northeast Ohio.
It's not Northeast Ohio. It's all of Ohio.
Yes,
I travel the state. I see it.
And you got to have a 5 or 6 inch exhaust sticking out of the front of the bed.
And then they get 20-inch rims with rubber band tires. You're not going off-roading with those things.
No, that's not the point. And then he put truck nuts on them.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, going back to your previous comment, it doesn't really matter who's in power at the minute. Like, fuel prices are high worldwide, mate. And Americans are like, oh, I can't believe this is big. They're high worldwide.
Yeah, but you cannot tell a stupid redneck that here. Trust us.
I think that's a bit harsh you calling Jay a stupid redneck, but that's...
Fuck. I know redneck, man. I might be an idiot, but redneck's probably not the right word. I'm not a country boy.
we're prices are high here at the minute, so it's a worldwide thing at the moment. So
so what I heard the other day was that the UK gets most of their oil from Russia, whereas the US only gets about 3% of our oil from Russia.
4%.
The US gets 4% or the UK?
UK.
Okay.
UK gets 4% of its oil and fuel from Russia. But the thing is, right, the thing that really pisses me off about this whole situation is, like, the moment it happened, fuel prices went through the roof. They're like, oh, the supply issues. You're telling me that there's not millions of liters sitting in these refineries?
No.
Really. And I'm like...
well, I'm not telling you that because I don't know what a liter is.
Millions and millions of gallons.
No, I'm with you, Patrick. Because wasn't there a surplus of it just like a year and a half ago where they were like, we have too much crude?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, we don't have any crude.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree.
So then, like, all of these fuel refineries that, like, for instance, we've got here on the south coast of England, there's massive fuel stores. You're telling me that all of those have, in the last 10 days were filled up were completely emptied and then refilled by Russian oil. Okay, we're 10 days into this, and fuel has increased in the UK 25%.
Shit, we literally doubled.
Yeah,
we were at $2 and some change, and now we're up in
cards, man.
$4 and $5.
Stupid.
Well, I mean, it's all the rich
well,
people.
No,
Selfish.
It's the rich people who are getting richer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're controlling it, and I mean, it's kind of it's like that. Me myself, it's like, what are you going? Why complain about gas prices? What are you going to do? Walk? Well, to me, it's not that. It's like something needs to be done about it. I don't know what that is. I am a dumb redneck. I'm a country boy. I'm an idiot. I see things and I go, that's wrong. And they say, well, if you don't like the country, leave it. I'm going, no, there's just things that are wrong. Like, I don't want to, I like America. Okay.
I do too, but I would easily leave if
Ohio.
I could find some place to move warm.
Anywhere warm.
Anywhere warm.
Afghanistan's warm.
No. Afghanistan gets cold. No. It's a desert.
It gets down to 60. You'll be fine.
It gets below that.
You'll be fine.
Nope. They basically have the same weather that we have.
Complain about the cold. You get cold for about 2 months of the year.
Bullshit.
Okay, well, we have to define cold. What's cold in freedom units?
Anything under 70 degrees is cold to me.
Oh, bullcrap. That one day last week, it was like 65 and sunny. Beautiful. Just light wind.
It was cold.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I don't care. Now, it's not Jason's desert sandbox that he's living in with the sandstorms, but...
Yeah.
And tumbleweeds.
Not so bad where I'm at, but you get pretty far south, or even really north, too, like where there's not a lot of stuff going on. It gets pretty windy and shit everywhere.
So you prefer to be in a bigger city, Jason?
No, I wouldn't say bigger city. I'd rather be on the outskirts. I mean, that's kind of where we're at now. Like we were in the middle, and I hated it. Yeah, shouldn't say I hated it, but it definitely was different. And just in Phoenix, man, when you're in the actual like city, it's just nothing but asphalt and concrete and buildings. It's probably at least 10 degrees hotter than it is if you actually venture out a little bit. It's crazy.
Hang on 1 minute, Jason. You said anything below 70.
No, I said below 70.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm still good till
Martelle.
I'm still good till about 40.
40,
50, something.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon said
a little bit.
anything below 70. That's 21 degrees.
For you, yes. Celsius.
Yeah, that's
70 degrees
that's
Fahrenheit.
That's a good summer's day.
I prefer 70 and hotter.
He's a cold-blooded lizard.
Yeah, I need
70 is a good summer's day.
I didn't say it wasn't good.
When I pulled up to
85 and above is where my sweet spot is.
When I pulled up today and walked in the house, because I just knock and walk in usually, Martelle was laying on his rock under his heat lamp.
Yeah.
Anything below 40 is not still cold, but that's not warm.
No.
Cold to me. I wore a fleece jacket twice this past winter. Now, if I'm outside for a long time, I'll wear more. But if I'm walking from a car into a restaurant or my house, I don't even put a coat on.
But let's be honest here.
I'm insulated.
You're a porpoise whale.
A porpoise whale.
I used to in Norway from mid-November through till probably about now. I was dealing with -10, so that's 14 degrees.
Nope.
I've worked in less than that.
Nope.
And I used to walk home from the gym in shorts.
Nope.
Yeah, Patrick's my kind of people.
Well,
where's Norway at in Germany? Maybe I'll move there. He's like, you're so dumb. You are so dumb.
Go for it. Go for it. You think American politics is bad? Go to Norway.
Oh, jeez. Never mind then.
I just feel like they just settle everything with some axe throwing and a bit of light drinking.
Well, they can't do heavy drinking. It's too fucking expensive.
Sounds like a terrible place to live.
I was paying $7 to £8 for a small beer.
Oh, fuck that.
Jeez. That's like at a ball game here.
Yeah,
that is, and that's a small beer. That's like
a can? No.
Like a small can.
Yeah, just a 12-ouncer.
I mean, Martelle's paid that for limited release beers here and there, but that's not the norm.
I don't even think that's a 12-ounce can. I think that's what is it?
Shit, those ones they sell at concerts and stuff. It's about $16. I mean, they're big beers, but it's like $16 if you want one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay for you, Jay. You normally have one beer and go, "No, I'm done."
I'm not even a beer guy, man.
Jason goes, "Can you give me
I didn't mind a Corona, but
Jason said, "Can you give me the
Yeah, so
$16
like I said,
mug?"
you're not a beer man.
Yeah, can you give me the $16 mug, but only $8 worth of beer, please? I'll be good.
So right. So the on the Sunday night in Indy, we go out and we're sitting around a table. There's Jay, myself, Dusk. I can't remember who else was there.
Not Martelle and Mo.
No, we had left it by that point.
No,
I don't think Brandon was there, was he?
Brandon wasn't there because he was like, "No, I need to get a night's sleep." And I went in when I went in the room. He was still wide awake.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was probably Jonathan.
Yeah.
That did the fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we go up and we're like, I said, "What do you want?" And I go through and I ordered a particular beer. I looked at the thing and I ordered a particular beer and basket ciders and stuff like that. And Jay was like, "Can I get a water?" I'm like, "God damn you!"
Yeah.
Can I get an iced water at that? I was like,
with a straw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I always order a water, even if I order a drink. Like the place we went, the company store restaurant. I was like, I want a water, and then I tried one of their. I sent a picture. Jason's in the one thread. It was a pink moonshine lemonade, whatever. I don't know. I order a water, but with a drink usually. I gotta stay hydrated.
No. We were in probably the most American bar you could have found in downtown Indy because it was full of American sports on TV and just
NASCAR
people
hoods
sitting around it.
Yeah.
There's people sitting
It was
around.
a dive bar, like a block from some.
It was a dive bar. But it was entertaining. Sports on every. I appreciate it when I walk into a bar and it's wall-to-wall TVs and there is 10 different sports on. I'm like, I can sit here for hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've done that before. I've gone, well, when UFC fights first really became a thing back in the early 2000s and it was really ramping up, we go to B-dubs, pay $5 and be there for 6-7 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've just described every bar in the United States, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's grown to that, yeah. But
walk in, wall-to-wall TVs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Except some of them play The Bachelor.
Not even bars either. Even some restaurants. Like, you just go to a sit-down restaurant, there's still several TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I can appreciate that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's,
I want to go to, like, an old English pub, though.
Oh, no, I can appreciate them. I do enjoy. You go in, small bar, couple of places to sit, log fire in the corner. I'm like, hey, get me. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the bar from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't seen that movie forever. Well, it's like when I think it's pronounced Fado. It's an Irish pub in Easton. First one in.
It's Fado.
It was right next to Tinderbox. You could go get a nice cigar, go to Fado's, get you a good beer, sit in one of those little Irish cubby table things. I don't know what you call them.
Chairs.
it's like the walled-in booths, or a high top corner table, and you can just sit there, have a good cigar, and it's just like the atmosphere was either someone playing acoustic guitar and singing that was actually decent, or you got a fire going. It's real chill. I like that sometimes, and I'd love to go to.
You want to go to the Winchester. That's
oldest
the name
pub?
That's the name of the bar from Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead.
It's the Old Duke of Albany pub, 39 Mason Road in New Cross.
Well, my buddy, my one buddy really is into his Irish heritage, and he's real mild about it. He's not the guy that like tells everybody he's Irish or has tattoos that says he's Irish. He just like really likes his lineage. And he went to Boston and visited the oldest bars in Boston, all this, but he's like, this still aren't as old as like an old Irish pub, like,
oh no,
it'd be so cool to go over there and sit down where people sat 200, 300, 400 years ago. What's the
Is that where we signed the Declaration of Independence?
No, that was Philadelphia. That was in Philadelphia with the Statue of Liberty, you idiot.
Oh, okay.
What's the oldest pub in England? There's one. I know. I read an article about the oldest one in Ireland, and I forget the name of it. Quick Google. Martel's on it. Clickety clack.
Oops.
We're doing the American thing, and just we're going to learn as we go.
So I found the 8 oldest pubs in England.
Why can we not find the one oldest?
Because they don't just...
the
old
oldest
man
pub
in Scythe.
No.
Man of Scythe?
The porch house in Stow on the Wold.
1251.
See, that'd be cool to go somewhere like that and sit down with
1251.
Adam and Eve. So that's in Bolton.
The porch house is in a town called Stow on the Wold in the Cotswold in England. It's from 1947 AD.
Wow.
1947 as opposed to 1086, the royal standard of England.
Wait, you said 1947 AD?
Yeah.
That was 40 years ago. Or
60 now.
60 years ago. I keep thinking it's the 90s.
You mean BC?
No, AD. No, it's not before Christ. Anno Domini.
Well,
hold on. Here, I found it. The porch house was 947.
947.
Yeah.
I was thinking 1947. I was like, we have American homes older than that. Okay, 947. That makes sense.
Although, this is Randy's favorite place. Ye Old Fighting Cocks.
Yeah, it is. I would go there.
793.
I'd go there with an American flag T-shirt and order a Bud Light.
And according to this, the oldest is the Old Ferry Boat Inn at 560.
Well, the Guinness Book of Records has authenticated the one in the porch house at 947 as the oldest.
Okay, so
I'll roll with that.
So
yeah,
that's the authenticated oldest. But this is where they they'll have to try and decipher between pubs and inns.
Yeah. So this is Stow. It's at Stow on the Wold in Gloucestershire, England.
I'm sure you
Stow on the Wold in Gloucestershire.
That's what I said. Gloucestershire.
I was going to say, I know you. I just want to get a whole list of British cities and have you read them.
It's in Gloucestershire. You have to bring your Glock with you.
It's not safe.
It's not safe there.
That's where Glocks are made, isn't it?
It is. In Gloucestershire.
Patrick seriously doesn't even know why he deals with us at this
He's
point.
like, I fucking hate these people.
Stupid Americans. So what's the feeling about, I'm sure there aren't many of them there, but American muscle cars, modern or vintage?
Pointless.
You just... What'd you say, Jason?
I said, I suppose you have a point, but it doesn't matter.
Man, the fact
because
that
it's like I'm not being funny. I was looking into this. This now takes me on to. I was looking into hire cars for my little trip to Texas, and I was thinking, what can I get? What can I get? And this and that, and they were like, oh, and there's people like, oh, I could have rented some Dodge Ram with a 6.3 Hemi, and I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like, because there's just no need.
Call up Hennessy and ask if you can rent one of their cars.
But I mean, the fact that you can get Mopar's pumping out 700 plus horsepower engines, manual transmission, rear wheel drive, just raw power.
The Hellcat's more of a road car instead of just like the Demon was a drag car.
Right.
But the Hellcat's supposed to be a road track car.
Right. So, what's a Hemi pushing out? The 6.3 Hemi. It's going to be a couple of hundred.
It's a 6.2 supercharged, so they're
like
over. If you put the whole race pack thing on there, because they give you like extra parts with some of those cars.
Depends on the key you use.
It's 840, I think,
with the red key.
Yeah. You see, I currently build going into a.
So it's the size of the palm of your hand. Like
it produces
the turbo?
It produces yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The piston heads on that thing can't be larger than a dime.
Maybe it's the bottom of this pint glass.
I bet it sounds great too.
Oh man!
All titanium parts.
No, listen. No, not at all.
Really?
Listen to a Formula One engine. from 2000.
Okay, I'm talking
2018.
but I'm talking street production vehicles. I'm talking you can order this, get it from a dealership, walk in, buy it, and go.
Eventually, you can.
The one I'm making is it is a limited production, but it is.
But it's something I could go to a dealership and see 10 of them on the lot.
No, it's limited production.
I know. That's my point. I'm saying
These are all. These are well. If you want to pay 2.5, yeah, you can.
Nope. No, thank you.
But then it's like people are like, oh yeah, I got this Bugatti Veyron that does 200 miles an hour. Okay, cool. Just went. Hold my beer.
That's slow for a Veyron.
Yeah.
No, I know over here a lot of it. There are guys that even say, I don't care how fast my car is. It's the feel. It's the rumble. You know, you get a cammed engine, dual exhaust. It's a very machismo thing.
I love old drag cars, man. I think
I used to work for Jeep Dodge Chrysler. So we had the big Hemis coming in, the 5.2 and the 6.3 and things like that. And it's like you start it up and it's like you start up a modern car that produces that sort of power, and it will literally just purr at you. It makes this nice noise.
See, we like the that makes our boys tingle a little.
I mean, I'm no Nissan fan, man, but I tell you what, you start those prototypes up, and they are pretty nice.
Oh, I'm not saying no other car sounds great. Don't get me wrong. It's a totally different tone and note. I agree with y'all on that. And there are cars,
but it's like
But it's a V8. It's just it's like a muscle, man. It's crazy.
You got the Aston Martin V8s, and they just purr at you. They literally will purr.
They will. Of their GT3 cars, just in general, but like those things sound awesome when you start them up.
They do have a nice purr to them. They're like a cute kitty cat.
They have the newer Astons. When you buy the road production car, they have this. They've obviously got the flap in the exhaust to control noise, so that you don't make up too much noise when you get on the street. So you hit a certain rev, and it literally roars at you. Or you go in and you pull the fuse out of that system, so you start it up and it just roars at you.
Yeah,
that's
just
probably
like
the first thing I would do that in the dealer lot.
Yeah, before I even left.
With the guy salesman standing there.
I wouldn't even bother. I'd be like, hey mate, get one of you guys out, get them to adios that out there. I don't want it.
Yeah.
See, here we do electronic cutouts. We'll do anything to get that rumble. Yeah. Well, so my buddy I have a few friends with Camaros, 5th gens.
And they all have mullets.
And they all sleep with their cousins, but that's beside the point. It's
a requirement to drive
the 1LE Camaro is set up to be like a faster kind of a drag car. It's got the 6.2 in it, I'm wanting to say. But my buddy's got a Z28, and this thing's a track car. It's phenomenal. It's got a 7.1. It's not loud and obnoxious. It's just got a good tone to it, and man, is it fun! It's just pure fun. It's raw power. I get there's faster things in the world, but it's like that.
I'll just send you guys these pictures of that. I don't know. I'm sure you saw Corvette brought out the C3 the C8R now for GT3 racing.
Yeah, that yellow one they had.
Dude, the engine in that thing is unbelievable. It's massive. They had it on display. I'll send it to you guys. It was pretty wild, man.
How did they end up finishing that yellow Corvette? Because it was that yellow Corvette and that green Lamborghini that were just back and forth on each other.
Yeah.
I didn't end
up. I think that's TR3 Racing. Those guys are pretty cool.
Yeah, I missed the end of the race.
Speaking of old muscle cars, my uncle, well, it's my dad's cousin. I've always called him my uncle. They raced this last weekend. He's an NHRA drag racer. And years ago, he's worked hard his whole life, and he's always wanted a true 1970s Hemi Cuda, the NASCAR Hemi. That NASCAR said this thing makes too much power. He wants a carb, he wants it old school. So many years back, he found one in North Carolina. He lives down in Jacksonville at this point. Contacts the guy, drives up, looks over. Not street legal at all. It's fully built. Got the right engine, got the cage. Ends up getting it off this guy for $26,000. Okay. The engine's worth more than that. Takes it home, rebuilds everything. Well, he does some of the work, but he has guys do all the work. Talks to my dad, 'cause him and my dad both went to school to be mechanics back in the day. So they've done this their whole lives. But he paid to have a lot of high end stuff done. And the one guy had paid to rebuild the engine. I forget the guy's name. There's no signage on his shop. He doesn't advertise. He's been working on these since back in the day. And his name keeps him so busy he can't see straight. Been doing it for like 40-some years.
Yeah.
As this engine's getting rebuilt, the guy contacts my uncle and says, hey, I think this might belong to somebody who used to race in NASCAR. I'm finding certain markings. There's no serial numbers on the engine, right? They didn't have them. No, he said, but there's certain markings. He said, do you mind if I make some calls? I said, no, I don't care. A couple weeks later, my uncle comes home from work, and his wife's on the phone. She says, hey, it's for you. He's walking in, drops his keys off, says, who is it? She goes, Richard Petty. He's like, oh, very funny, very funny, So he picks it up, says, this is Tim. Hey, Tim, Richard Petty, how you doing? And he's like, he just froze. Richard Petty came down to check it and verify if it was one of his engines. And he got a meal and everything.
Wow.
And he's still out there. He ran a 9.9 quarter mile on pump gas with a carved engine. And there are guys out there with more modern setups that can't hang with them hardly, And it's just an old school.
The engines are awesome, man.
Oh, it's just an old school, beautiful orange 71 Hemi Cuda. Oh, It's just, again, not the fastest in the world. Not practical for anything but drag racing, but it's so cool to see.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be bringing it to Ohio for Mopar Nationals.
Oh,
in July.
cool.
Yeah, so he wants us to go to the track with him that weekend. So yeah, but see, that's to be too. That's cool, but not because it's a really cool car, an American classic, raw power, but the story behind that engine, is like, that's just cool to me.
That's pretty awesome.
Do you So, Jay, did you see the Grand Prix today?
No, I didn't.
Have you? Before I say anything about it, have you recorded?
No, I know what the results are. I saw it dramatically change there at the end, I guess.
Yeah, the final 2 laps. Whoever is running Mercedes Formula One team's Twitter account is a savage.
Oh, I'm sure.
When Max went out, they were like, "Oh yeah, cool. We're up to P3, P4," and Checo Perez engine failed, and he went, "Oh, that's what we like to see."
Whoa. Aren't they taking over for Honda this year? Didn't Red Bull produce their own?
Yeah. No, it's still the Red Bull engine. They're still Honda supported. It's just it's under the name of Red Bull Powertrains. But so many staff left our building to go and work there apparently. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, we'll see. But Kevin Magnussen 5th. So good.
I love it.
It's the first time, like, since I've been watching Formula One now in the last couple of years, it's the first time I've seen Gunther Steiner like doing a post-race interview with Sky Sports here in the UK. Because no one really wants to speak to him. Come last, apart from when Grosjean burst into flames a couple of years ago. No one speaks to him post-race, and they did an interview with him, and they clearly had to say to him, "Listen, Gunther, we're putting a microphone and a camera in your face. You can't swear." But because he's got an absolute potty mouth on him. But
I hope they have a really good year, man.
It's like Mick Schumacher 12th and K-Mag 5th. I mean, dude, they've just got more points. They got more points in that one finish than they have in the last 2 years. Yeah. So, it's so cool. It's good to see.
So it's going to be a good year then.
It's good. It's going to be a much better year for Gene Haas and his team. But it couldn't have got any worse. But they said all of last year, we're doing as much as we can to put this car on track, and we're doing no more. We're focusing purely on the 2022 car. We couldn't give a shit about this car, basically is what they said. And, they've been proven right. They've been proven they've got it right. It's a quick car. So a couple of reliability things to work on. But it's going to be a long year for some teams. McLaren looked quick in testing and have had issues, and they struggled. Aston Martin, oh my God, they were dreadful. Williams were pinning all their hopes on much better 2022 because they have so much more access to testing under the regulations, and like they tanked today. So it's just been good to see. It's but it was obviously with the Mercedes finishing in P3, which was a massive surprise, and it was down to other teams' failures because their cars broke down in the last 2 laps. But it means that the atmosphere in work tomorrow morning might be a little bit nicer. I don't think we'll have our champagne reception at 11 o'clock like normal, but
you can always do that no matter what.
Might be frowned on if you just take your own bottle.
You drink enough of it, you won't care.
Yeah.
If we drink enough of it, I won't be employed either. So, it's just McLaren. Oof. Yeah, they're in for a long year.
Yeah,
but it's a shame. It's a good team.
Yeah.
I need to catch up and watch some more F1.
I need to watch any F1 ever.
Start watching.
Today was.
Quest Drive to Survive. It's very dramatic, but it's cool. It's pretty cool. I got to start watching the 4th season.
Yeah,
I get into weird, like if I'm flipping through the channels, I get into weird racing. Like I'll be flipping through, it'll be like the trophy trucks, driving around the track with random jumps in it, or like a Baja race, or like snowmobile racing. I'll stop. I'll find myself watching that for like an hour. I don't even care about snowmobiles.
Well, they only show that stuff on the Ocho.
Yeah.
Right. It's the only channel I have. I deleted every other channel.
But it's cool. Yeah.
You know what? Sorry, go ahead, Patrick.
Well, we're good.
Speaking of racing, there's something else before I knew they were on I wanted to ask you about.
Me or Patrick?
You. Before I knew they were on.
Oh.
And obviously I would like their opinions too. I just learned about this because I've been without internet for 2 days, 3 days.
Oh my God.
I know, it's rough. I was so happy when we went to a restaurant and had Wi-Fi. But this swimmer who...
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about? I've only seen...
Exactly talking about. The memes
I know what you're about to say, and it's not even in the same country as me.
The memes... Right. The memes are hilarious, by the way. I've got some I could send you, Jason.
Perfect. Yeah.
But if what I saw was correct, a man who was 432nd in the world, swimming whatever event, decided he's now a woman, not get into that, do your own thing, gets to compete as a woman, and is now first in the world. Where do we stand on this? Because I think it's BS.
It's bullshit. I'll tell you right where I fucking stand, because
let's go.
I've honestly stopped posting stuff on Instagram because I'm just tired of it. Plus, I'm sure, not that I'm important, but I'm sure that, because when I used to post funny memes, I think more people would see it, and I don't even know if people see stuff after a while. I'm sure at some point I've been shadow banned for just posting how people are just treating people like shit. But I'm all for people being whatever they want. I had a gym member that flipped right before I shut my place down, so it's not like I don't know anyone.
And that's why you shut it down.
I was
how you having that here?
I was fully supportive of that person. I gave them my advice. I felt like what their ultimate goal was with that. They were definitely going about it the hard way, but right now this person's in a super happy relationship with exactly the person they were after, being the person they want to be, and they're getting married, all that shit. Totally happy for them. But I, of all people, have always been a massive supporter of women. A lot of it has to do with my background and things I've witnessed in my own family, stuff like that. I will never be okay with some dipshit guy deciding he wants to be a woman, whether for whatever reason, and taking away that kind of stuff from the ladies that actually are working hard for their sport. Like, I don't give a shit what people say. I don't care what you feel like. There's men, there's women, period. You can be whatever you want, but those guidelines as far as sport and stuff goes, it's the same thing as Rogan talked about this. He never said much about it until it crept into MMA. You're going to have a guy decide they want to be a woman and then go beat the fuck out of somebody and
fractured the girl's skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up too.
I mean, like, I don't care what you say, it's wrong. So like there has to be boundaries to some of this stuff that are just logical.
There's a meme. I wouldn't even call it a meme. There was a someone posted something. Someone I know that posted something about this very subject because he has young girls, and he said it simply says women's sport isn't a place for failed male athletes.
Yeah.
I
direct
agree
way to
with
put it.
that.
It's 100% true, though.
It's a direct way to put it.
It's total bullshit. And it's like I don't understand. That's why, like, I think, you guys may have seen it, like, Elon Musk posted that weird, like, image. It was like, I stand for whatever the next thing is, or something. And, but all of that stuff, to me, is just massive bullshit to where you can allow things like this to happen. All the stuff that, like, throughout history women have gone through and all these things, and then making sure they're getting a fair shake in sports and all this stuff, and now all of a sudden it's perfectly fine for any one of us to just be like, hey, I want to be a chick and I'm going to go beat the hell out of all of you, and then I'm going to be number one because I can't hang in my own gender. Like, it's ridiculous.
There was a lady competed for New Zealand in weightlifting, Laurel Hubbard, who is, well, she used to be packing as twig and berries,
carrying the old wedding tackle.
And she used to be a competitive male weightlifter. She transitioned to be a woman, and no one has a problem with that. Everyone has a problem with then when you try and compete you're not competing on a level playing field. That was it. And there was so much hype because she went to certain weightlifting events in New Zealand to qualify, and obviously she qualified with weights that would, put her well clear of anyone in the heavyweight women's
category. It'd be like
category.
going against like Tia Claire. Like, even though they're both like superhuman beings, you've thrown the women's weight, and you would run away with it. Like, it's just
the way I see it.
Like,
And there's
but
it's so wrong.
That's the reason why there was everyone was ecstatic at the last Olympic Games because pressure. Obviously, the person in question cannot handle the pressure, and absolutely bombed in the weightlifting.
Yeah,
like 0 from 3, couldn't handle it.
Yeah. But
then, when the pressure's off, she's, lifting world record level weights. I'm like,
well, think about the people that work so hard, like Jason said, to set those records, and then somebody decides, I can beat that. So I'm with you guys. The MMA one was the first time that I went, this is BS. Especially in a contact sport like that. And I'm all for it. Now, when I was going through training to become a Krav Maga instructor many weights ago, I was introduced to a couple of people, a married couple. The guy's like 6'4", 6'5", pretty lean build, and could grapple for days. He just had limbs. He'd wrap you up. He was a third-degree black belt Krav, did jiu-jitsu and all this other stuff. His wife was like 5'3", 5'4", maybe a buck 10.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know you do. I mean, it's the Acostas. I can mention their name, right?
Yeah.
So, very cool couple. I only got to meet this one time, but they wrapped her up in like a queen-size comforter, like a burrito, and then him and 2 other guys pinned her down, and she had to fight her way out. And the whole reason they were doing this was the class they were teaching was talking about how in Krav Maga you don't quit because you're not fighting for sport. There's no ref going to come break it up. You've got to get your way out if you're attacked. And they were proving that it doesn't matter your size, it's how fierce you are. So she'd be like punching them in the eye, digging her thumbs into their eyes, biting them. I got bit teaching Krav before.
I've sparred her. She is tough.
She is insane. She got up and started whooping on me, and I went, okay, I'm done. Like, she is so fast. I'm all for women doing it. Like, I think there are strong women out there. I would hate to see her have to compete with somebody that's her husband's size and has his reach and same skill level, who's much stronger in a sport competition. It doesn't make sense. It's not about women aren't strong or women can't do this. but there are some physical attributes that obviously change the playing field. It's like I read somewhere years ago, Serena Williams is number one in the world, has been forever, right? She would be like number 200 something if she was going in the men's category.
Yeah.
Like nobody even know her name. So there's obviously a discrepancy.
Here's the one that I really get annoyed about. There's a South African runner called Caster Semenya. Right? She was the world champion, Olympic champion, things like that. She has a very deep androgynous voice. She is being biologically tested so many times, and she's biologically a woman. She's just she's a very good 400-meter runner. She was by far and away the best runner of her generation. Nowhere close to world record holding time, but she was just very, very good. And because she was by far and away she got accused of all sorts of things like that. Yes, she has a very deep voice, but she has been tested so many times. Biologically, a woman, she gets hammered for it, and then this dude who now decides he wants to be a girl competes as a woman in weightlifting, and they're fine with that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I
don't get it. I mean, I've worked with CrossFit competitions. I've worked with people of trans things. I don't give a shit. I be what you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, but this was a guy transitioning to be a girl as well. No, other way around. So woman transitioning to be a guy, and I was like, okay, I mean, you're never going to compete anyway because you can't deadlift 225. But I'm like, I'm fine with that. I couldn't give a shit. Be what you want to be. It's when you're trying to be competitive in a certain thing. It just doesn't sit well with me.
I don't like how there's just no common sense to all this stuff. And in my opinion, is like if you think differently, if we were, certain people, if they were to listen to this, they would lose their minds. And it's like, you're not understanding the point. I will, of all people, defend your rights to be whatever you want. I wouldn't let somebody make fun of you. I wouldn't let somebody beat your ass because you're weird, any of that kind of stuff. It's purely the logic of like, you weren't born a guy or you weren't born a girl or whatever it is, and now you're trying to crisscross those two and do something where now you're in competition with somebody else. You have people like some of these CrossFitters who are Olympic athletes that are training for 4 years to go do something, and now they have no hope other than to maybe get a silver. You know what I mean? Like, that could affect sponsorship. That could affect all kinds of things.
Yep.
Like, it just, there's so many layers to that. And people are just like, oh, you're just a piece of shit and all this stuff. It's like, no. Like, I'm telling you, when it comes to the humane part of this stuff in everyday life, I'm in your corner. But when you start getting over top of these lines, it's not fair anymore. And now you're fucking with other people's livelihoods. And if that was turned around on you, you would lose your mind.
And
like,
it really comes down to
this whole process that never ends.
If you go back to what Randy was saying about the MMA, if that was just intergender boxing, people would be up in arms.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what it is.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, too. Look at this situation. Say that didn't happen in an MMA octagon or any sanctioned fight. That happened on the street. What happens?
Oh,
people would flip their lid. That a quote-unquote guy, that transition, fractured the skull of a girl. They'd lose their mind. It boggles me. And there are certain things that are competitive, like racing. We can go back to racing. There have been female racers that have made it to the big leagues, right?
Yep.
No issue with that. If you can drive a car, sweet. You're putting the car in your skills versus another person's car and skills.
Yeah.
But when it comes to strength competitions, it's or fighting, it's a whole different. It's a whole different
really,
ballfield.
There's the
gender type thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas like driving is a skill.
Yeah.
And it's not. Yes, there is a physical aspect to it, but it's not a physical contest.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying there are things women can compete in against men, but like hand-to-hand combat is not one of those things. Football would not be one of those things. I don't think there's a female that one of our friend's daughters played as a kicker for her high school team. She was varsity all 4 years. She's graduating this year. Lettered, broke records, set records for the state of Ohio as a kicker. She never got touched. Like, she was a kicker.
I'm trying to think. What's the university in Nashville?
I was going to say, but if you put her out as like a tight end or a wide receiver, she would get crushed.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
There
Guys weigh 400 pounds more than she does.
Right.
Yeah, you imagine the concussions and stuff that some of these giant football players have gotten from helmet hits. You could probably kill somebody.
Football players have gotten killed in the NFL, college, high school. It's happened. Yeah. I know what you're talking about too, Patrick. The female.
There was a girl who kicked for.
It was a college team, a D2 team.
No, it's not. It was D1.
Was it D1? It
was Vanderbilt.
Yep, Vandy. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a girl who kicked for Vandy. She did kickoff, and I'm pretty sure she did
field goals.
Field goals as well, extra points. I think she was the first female to score points in NCAA men's.
Correct.
Football, which is fair play. If you're doing something like that, it's a skill. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's some danger there, but as a kicker, there's not.
There is some danger there, but you're minimalizing it, but you're not hitting them from 50 either.
Right.
But fair play to you. Do it. They need the team needed some help, and you were like, "Screw it, I can do it. Let's do it."
Yeah, and
fair play to you.
That's all my point is.
I have the utmost respect for that because that's a skill.
Yeah,
that's a skill. That's a skill position, not a physical one.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. I don't know. It's weird.
I agree with everything you guys said.
All right, I'm with you, fellas.
Yeah, I don't know. That topic fires me up.
It's something that of course, when I got back and I jump on Facebook for the first time in a couple of days, it's like all these memes, and I'm like, "What's this from?" They were hilarious.
Yeah.
Once I learned the story.
Well, this is going on. There was the Penn State swimmer. The same thing. There's that.
Yeah.
There was.
I thought
they booed that guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was the one you were talking about, the NCAA swimmer.
Yeah, well, I think there's been a few.
There's been a few.
I was going to say, I just know this one.
Because that was around the time of the Winter
Olympics stuff. There was one this week.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's the same one.
Yeah, the one this week was William Thomas, who is now Leah Thomas.
That's the one.
I've not looked at the background and everything.
That was one where I think all the other, like the second through fourth place or fifth place or whatever, all made their own podium.
Yeah, they refused to go on the podium, which is sad.
It's only people have to do something. Like all of these stupid things that have been going on the last couple of years. Like people have to actually be willing to like say things and do stuff. Like women have to be like they got to be willing to like.
People are, but here's the problem: the people saying it are known as comedians, and then people they try to get black. Dave Chappelle recently got in trouble for what he said. Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Dave didn't get in trouble for what he said because he didn't give a shit.
My point is, they tried
That's
to.
That's what you have to do. Like you can't be.
But my favorite one for a long time, as far as speaking his mind and saying stuff that makes a lot of sense, is Bill Burr.
Oh yeah,
Bill Burr just lays it out there, and people yell at him. He's like, "What? Like, am I wrong?"
Ricky Gervais is the same.
Oh yeah. Yes, I love Ricky Gervais. My wife and I we got a DVD at the castle for the boys, and the only one they had that was like kid friendly. I was like, "Oh, Fury's here. We should watch that." They had a Night at the Museum, and Ricky Gervais in that. I forgot how hilarious he was.
He's so good.
Oh,
Ricky Gervais is so good.
My favorite thing he's done is An Idiot Abroad. Have you watched that?
Yeah, I do, but then it gets that got a bit over the top.
And I think he ended at the right time.
It's him and Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
It's him, Stephen Merchant,
and they send
Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
Stephen Merchant, his co-writer for The Office, is so funny.
Yes, everything I've seen and heard from him, I've loved.
But yeah, Carl Pilkington just gets it's a bit too over the top, and I was like, oh, I can't be dealing with this stupidity.
I loved it. I'm a dumb American.
Yes, you are.
I got to see the world through his eyes.
You just went and stayed at an American castle.
I did. White
AKA
Castle.
a house.
The best thing Gervais does is probably the Academy Awards, where he just stands up. He's like, I don't care. We're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
speeches.
his monologue, the monologues in between having to actually give out awards, is just brilliant. He literally just like he's there mowing people down.
Oh,
Doesn't
one of my
care.
favorites is when he hit the whole crowd. He made a joke about Jeffrey Epstein after he died,
Yeah.
and what was going
Yeah,
on. And all
yeah,
these Hollywood
yeah.
superstars started like getting real quiet. And he goes, "What? I didn't do this. All of you did." Like,
It's like,
I was like, "Oh, got them all." He just dropped a bomb
Yeah,
on the whole
he turned
auditorium.
so you guys are all upset because you had to get your own planes here rather than getting a lift for your mate Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
He's hilarious. I also got into his show Derek. I found that on Netflix. I was like, "Oh, it's Ricky Gervais. I'll watch it." And it was like weird with hilarious one-liners in it. I got so into that. It was 3 seasons and done.
Yeah,
check it out.
He does. It literally is. He just for a couple of seasons and done. The original British Office is just incredible.
I started watching it. I've never finished it.
Oh, it's so good.
The first episode was hard for me. Honestly, I tried to watch the first one like 3 times.
I can't watch the American version of The Office, so
Well, Patrick will tell you that sucks. I love The Office, both of them.
I love The Office.
I've never watched the American.
The Office and Seinfeld I can watch all the time.
The American version of The Office. That's the one with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never watched an episode of it because I've watched the original Office, and it's so good.
I want to watch the original version of Shameless.
Patrick, I want you to watch the American Office just so I can get your feedback. You can tell us how bad it is.
The original version the original version of Shameless is
first 6 episodes of the American Office.
Randy's still talking about The Office. We've moved on to Shameless.
You moved on to Shameless.
Well, so did Patrick.
The first 6 episodes, though, are basically duplicates of the British version, just kind of rewritten.
Right.
Like Gervais was heavily oversaw that. Shameless, I've never even heard of. I've heard of the song "Shameless," the '90s country hit.
No, the original Shameless. Hey, Doc, if I give you 20 quid, can you put an extra stitch in?
What is Shameless? I've never even heard of it.
It's brilliant. That's what it is.
So I've never seen the UK version, but the American version is a family that lives in Chicago, and they are like just the biggest pieces of shit on the planet.
Nice. I'm into it.
Yeah, I've never seen the show, but I've seen the thing.
I think the UK one is Manchester.
So I'm trying to find.
So, it's so good.
I want to watch it.
It is good, but it's a bit much sometimes.
Also, the American version was kind of a bit much as well, but it was still good. We just finished the last season just recently. It was released on Netflix.
I just finished the last season of Ozark.
I need to watch that as well.
Oh, it's so good.
I was gonna watch Ozark, but then I realised I wasn't gonna have to go there for racing, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not watching it."
Why don't you just come visit? We'll go to the Ozarks. We can see it all in person.
Yeah, it's not that far a drive.
The show's actually really well written, I think.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones that kind of keeps your attention.
There's a new track in the Ozarks, not for SRO or not for IMSA though.
No, I was going to say it's SRO.
SRO, yeah.
They're up this weekend, aren't they?
Huh?
SRO is it next weekend?
No, they're not till the end of April.
No, I think they're in Simona.
Yeah, but it's not till April though.
Okay.
Like maybe it's middle of April.
Yeah, I thought it was like early April this time. So we'll see. I did like to see that Jeff was on the SRO GT America page.
Yeah, with a fucking mask on. It's like, dude, you have so many other pictures of that man. That's the one you pick.
Yeah, but like that's the first public photo that I've seen of him because there's nothing on Zealous Racing.
They don't give a fuck about him, man.
No, there was another picture of Jeff and I think Corey and a couple other guys just kind of standing.
That's a lie, Jason.
Bullshit.
That's a lie, Jason. They care about him a lot because they're having his money.
No, they care about his wallet. They don't care about him.
Hey, listen, I think they love him to bits because he's paying for their refurbishment of their workshop.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw Corey Lewis this weekend. He was racing for Peregrine. It didn't do that well. They got like 13th, I think.
What are you doing, Randy?
I said to Busker today, he's like, "Oh yeah, we might need people." I was like, "Don't bother, mate. I spoke to Ty already. He thinks he's a dick."
The theory is that they're trying to suck up all of the Utah people.
Yeah.
Just kind of like try to take over, which, whatever. They're going to be run by that kid.
I think the technical term I would use to describe that person is he's a massive bell end.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
I just find it just, you know, I don't know. I know you have a different interaction with him because obviously you've met him in person, but I just thought that was
very
really
territorial,
really disrespectful, and it was very impolite.
Yeah.
The way his interactions with me were just, I'd say it was quite disrespectful and really impolite. So, if he was on fire, I wouldn't piss on him.
What would you if he was not on fire?
Yeah. You both had to think about it.
It changes the perspective there.
I found the Shameless UK is on Hulu.
Yeah.
I've just added it to my watch list.
See, if you pee on them when they're on fire, you're being a humanitarian and helping them. But if they're not, it changes the whole thing.
Yeah, but if you piss on them when they're not on fire, you're acknowledging them.
It may also be
or you're ignoring them like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there."
It may also be assault.
Yeah. But
not if it was an accident.
It's definitely salty.
Did you have asparagus last night?
Oh man.
So no, it's just manners. You know, I don't care that I don't have a problem with them saying, "Sorry, mate, I don't think it's going to work." I'm okay with that, but just leaving it as, "Yeah, we're really interested," and then not bothering to contact me at all. That's just, mate, I haven't got time of day for you. If you're not man enough to say no thanks to me in person or by a fucking text message, yeah.
Yeah, that's just not their style, man. It's a weird. I got the creepiest vibe, and I'm so glad I walked away from that thing because I'm telling you, dude, this team, I couldn't have literally fallen into a better spot by giving all that other stuff up.
No, it worked out well for you at this point.
They're unbelievable. I mean, just like any other team, they have things that, you know, they're working on to improve, but like just the way they do everything, like, is so much different. And the GS team that I'm on specifically is fantastic. So it'll be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this year, and probably something that will probably end up being a long-term deal. I mean, they're always working on growing. They're not running their Carrera Cup team this year. So I'm sure at some point that'll end up being a whole other team that will open up looking for people. And it's pretty cool the way they do everything. So
you heard it from Jason, Patrick. There's going to be another team coming, and they're going to be looking for people.
I mean, I hope he gets locked in with what he's doing, but I'll definitely keep my eyes open. I'm always trying to get people I know in there just because it makes it easier. But these guys are cool because they like, you know, obviously they want you to understand what you're doing, but at the same time, they're looking for a really good culture fit because they're like, you come in and do anything for us and you're just miserable. They're like, you know, obviously, unless you're just totally terrible, and they'll send you home, but like, you'll finish the weekend and they'll never have you back. You know what I mean? Like they're very specific about wanting a good culture, good team. I mean, even the guy that runs the team, my team now, him and I both were talking. It's the same thing. Like, he's been doing this way longer than I have, but He's just like, I enjoy this and I'm here for fun. And the minute it becomes miserable, I'm out. And that's the same thing with me. I'm at any time I'll walk away and be fine.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy it when I'm in a good atmosphere, but it's hard work. It's a lot. I mean, that team I helped this weekend, I signed on for 3 extra days because I thought I was doing pit stops on the wheel gun. But I couldn't make the practices, which I knew might be a deal breaker in a way, but there wasn't. These guys are great. They were perfectly fine. It's different. It was definitely different working with people that don't normally speak English. But by the time I got there on Friday, all of a sudden it was like, well, now we're going to have you run the dead man for the fueler. So then I partnered up with the only other American guy on the team. So that, that made it a little easier. But it was like, I did fuel and tires like all the rest of the weekend, and it was good. It was a good workout and stuff, but it was just like, it was constant, and it's a ton of work, and you're up, you get there early in the morning and you're up all day. That thing, the race is supposed to go till 10, and then we probably should have been loading up till 2, but luckily, I shouldn't say luckily, unluckily we were out, but today I have the day off and I'm just traveling, but it's not as glamorous, as it looks on TV. It's pretty cool, but there's compromises to everything.
You look pretty glamorous.
I like your shades.
I am going to have my own custom fire suit this year, man.
Hell's yeah.
I'm not going to look like a 5-year-old wearing his big brother's clothes.
Is that the one that Martelle couldn't fit in?
No.
Unlike me, who looked like a...
We actually have a whole bunch of bigger suits and ones that you would not, you, Patrick, would actually be able to fit in properly without looking like you're preparing for a flood.
Like I was wearing a 5-year-old suit.
Yeah.
That's when the folks decide you can still fit in last year's Halloween costume.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because ours are being made right now. They got a deal with Sparco, so they're being made, and so they won't be ready until Laguna. They're supposed to ship them, but they're coming straight over, I guess, from Italy. But they gave us the old suits from the GTD crew last year, and I barely fit into one of them decently. So, but
better get Andre out there so she can jump in his fire suit.
She won't even have to anymore. She's gonna love it. But yeah, it'll be really nice. Everything will be nice and proper this year. We got all brand new stuff. They gave us all the underwear stuff for it, but I may end up just buying my own ones that I want just to keep and have that fit a little bit better. Because these ones,
Silky
they do their job. What's that?
Silky ones?
Yeah. Yeah. They're just, I don't know, man. Some of them are just not very comfortable. I mean, they're there to keep you from catching on fire, but they're just kind of itchy and miserable. I would rather have ones that fit better.
It's basically you're wearing someone else. You could potentially be wearing someone else's underwear.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
which is never a good.
New. It's all brand new. Which is never good. It's just not.
I mean, who doesn't like that every once in a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I wear my wife's occasionally. It's fine.
Yeah, it's great, man. No, it's totally fine. But now it's.
I can't fit in anybody else's underwear. No worries there.
It's been fun getting in the habit of doing 5-lug instead of single leg this year, though. That's doing that. There's that.
That's 4 more nuts for you to handle.
The coverage is ever going to be for GT4, but there's the team that won this past weekend is PF Racing. They have all the pink Mustangs that ran in the Daytona.
Yeah.
They have this dude, Randy. He's probably your size, if not a little bigger.
No way.
Been racing forever. I'm telling you.
No way. Somebody my size is working on a crew.
He's so big that he has to wear the 2-piece fire suits that the top the jackets.
I think they just gave him a champion sweatsuit.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm going to see if there's footage anywhere. He's the best tire changer from what I've heard in all of IMSA for 5-lug. He's huge, but he runs around and it's just like NASCAR. All the way through, fast as hell, tire off the other one. He goes around the inside, same thing. He takes the tire off the car, lays it behind his head on the wall, takes the other one in one hand, slams it down, pops it on. He's done before this kid who's literally my size and way younger is even finished.
That's crazy.
He was in a stall next to us, and I just stared there and watched him, and it was the most incredible shit I've ever seen.
He goes down and starts sucking down chili dogs.
Oh my god! I'm gonna send you guys a picture. You'll see him. They had like kind of an action shot of him on their Instagram. And he is big boy.
I want to see video of it. I want to see video of this guy
I do
working.
too. He's that
There
fast.
has to be some.
You should call Christmas Abbott and get some tips from her on some 5-lug changes.
It's wild, man. How that socket works, but it's pretty cool. But you really got to practice, because if you're angled at all, it just starts shaving the end of the lug nut off, and then you're screwed. So I'm definitely getting better at it, but they're supposed to be building us a practice rig, and I asked them if they could build me a second one so I can just do it at home, because I can get a cheap bear gun.
Go down to Harbor
stuff
Freight.
Just to practice, but when they take those Thunder guns, the Ingersoll Rand Thunder guns that I actually had when I was a tech, and they gut them and port them and polish them, and they have like 5 settings on them if you're using them like on regular cars, and they take all that out. They gut everything. They tune them for performance, and all they do is put this one big little nub thing on the end for when you run around to smack it back in, or change directions, and then that's it. Otherwise, it just sits there and spins. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, single lug's way easier, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, single lug
looks a lot better too.
Easier and faster.
Yeah. You should see the one that was on the prototypes, man. It was a weird, like, aluminum nut. It was real strange. I didn't like it.
They're all about weight, so everything that can be lined would be lined.
Yeah,
they'd be the same as F2 and F1.
Yep.
Carbon fiber nuts.
Yeah,
probably titanium. But.
Mine are made of steel.
Is that where all the weight's coming from?
No, it's coming from everything else. I didn't say they were big. I just said they were steel. Ball bearings, just teeny tiny.
Here, I'm going to send you guys this picture. This is the guy. It's so good.
Are you sending it to the Facebook message thing?
No.
Well, I want to see it too.
No, I can. I can send it to whatever.
Yeah, screw you, Martelle.
No, thank you.
And with that, I'm Martelle.
Randy's apparently shutting down the show.
Yeah.
How long have we been going?
We're 2 hours.
I've got to go.
You got to go.
Bedtime.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Mate, I get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to have to consider eating some food and going to bed.
It's only 8 o'clock there.
At you.
It's only 8 o'clock
there. I know. I've got to record a Mayhem rowing video yet tonight as well.
Oh, I thought you were doing that beforehand.
No, I was watching the Grand Prix. And waiting for the Gunter Steiner interview because he's a legend.
My Facebook thing's not working right now.
All right, just send. I'll post it. I'll send it over.
It's the guy in the front of the car.
Well, if he's as big as you describe, I don't think you have to point him out.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Put it on the TV or forward it or something.
I'll send it.
Well, let's say bye to Patrick so he can take off.
Yeah, Patrick.
Ooh, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he is.
I'm telling you. You wait till you see him. Just look them up on Instagram, BF Racing. You'll see he's a big guy.
I think I thought I followed
he's a big guy because I know how big those wheels are, and they look like fucking twigs in his hand.
I'm telling you, he manhandles that thing like nothing. He grabbed the new one, and with one hand in the air, slammed it on the ground next to him while he was working on another tire. It was amazing.
Good God.
Fair play.
Yep.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you'll if you guys can come to Mid Ohio, Martelle, you guys will see him.
I plan on coming. Whatever I need to do to get there, I plan on coming.
Yeah.
I'll get Mo, and I guess Randy can tag along.
We'll see.
He'll just bring a lawn chair and sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Jay, where are you guys in August? Apart from that, you guys not in Nashville, are you?
No, we'll be at Road America the same exact weekend.
Oh, that dude's my kind of people.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
No, because I was
literally the very top of these states. You'll be
because the same week you're in of the Nashville was the CrossFit Games.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be literally about 20.
We'll be an hour away.
25 minutes down the road.
Yeah. Yep.
So, damn it.
Yep.
So,
Well,
okay, because if it was going to be a week later, I would have come over. I would have come down for one.
Yep. Yeah. It's a 5th through to 7th.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the schedule on IMSA's website, but their website kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, it's a 5th through to 7th because that's the same weekend as Nashville. But I thought the games were The games are that weekend?
Yeah, I think they end on the 5th. I'm trying to look at the calendar.
They end on the 5th, man. You can come out.
Yeah, if they end on the 5th, I will do.
We can probably hook you up.
Yeah, no, the 5th is a Friday, so they end on the 7th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see what it goes. Right, boys, yeah, I've got to go because I've got to eat some food and make a movie.
Yeah, I got to take off anyway. I got to
like
go get to the...
Well, then let's just wrap it up.
Yeah, we can just be done with it.
Fellas, always a pleasure. Patrick, I hope you enjoy your spiceless food. Jason, enjoy your rental car with your beautiful hair. Wherever you are.
He's in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Orlando,
I'm sorry.
I offered for my sister to come pick him up and take him around Orlando, and he said no.
Most guys wouldn't offer their sister to a buddy.
Well, not most
Hey,
guys.
would I get that? Would I get that offer if I was in Orlando?
I would probably tell my sister to stay far away.
He'll definitely take you up on that.
Oh,
There we go.
I wandered. I did laps around the mall looking for just random shit. So
Well, if
I could walk around.
if I'd actually put some thought into it, and knowing that you were going to be down at Sebring, I probably would have tried to come down to Orlando, and I could have just stayed at my sister's and then came up to the track.
Coulda, shoulda,
year,
woulda.
bro.
But yeah, next year, for sure. I'll be down there in April, but that's not this weekend.
No.
So,
Missed it.
All right.
All right.
all right, boys.
That's the show for Patrick, Jason, Randy, myself. We're out.
Peace.
See ya.
Ciao.
Cheerio.
Good to see you,
Guys
boys.
later.
Good seeing you,
Talk to
Patrick.
y'all.
See you, mate.
Jason,
Bye-bye.
travel safe.
See you, boys. Yep.
All right.
Okay, bye.
I'll see you.
Later.
All right.
Night, John boy.